Kanaka Fresh family. You'll be hanging out with me today, Adam Snow, and here's what's coming up on the show.
Tonight we have amazing bands from across Auckland that are coming to perform their original songs.
Honestly, I think it just came naturally. I mean, it's like sisterhood.
Let's talk about how to actually apply for a rental property in this beautiful country that we call Aotearoa.
Talo for lover, kia ora, and welcome to Tangata Beats 2025. Keep it fresh.
You know, we want to come together and like have some fun.
We wanted to be like Destiny's Child, and we just wanted to shine.
Performing for your culture is a big deal. We are Ribbit, and we always keep it fresh.
Kia ora te whānau. Tonight we have the Smoke Free Tangata Beats Auckland Regional Final.
Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh!
Now it's its own competition than it is of the Pacific and Māori culture. It really gives its own mana, its own authenticity to be what it is. Every year there's just such a huge range of artists, of ages, of cultures. Tonight we have amazing bands from across Auckland that are coming to perform their original songs.
Now, all of y'all feel this rhythm. All of y'all feel this rhythm.
It's a bit of like EDM mixed with hip hop, kind of. Bit of drum and bass, eh? Yo, drum and bass. The song title is called Feel This Rhythm. The words that I say, Langona Lene Fati, means feel this melody. It was really fun to finally be on stage and play what we wanted to play. Good to hear the crowd liked it as well.
I said, all of y'all feel this rhythm.
What's a word that we could describe our alternative, indie, kind of splunky? The word splunky can describe our music.
It's our new genre. It's the Ribbit genre.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it just came naturally. I mean, it's like sisterhood. Grooving, eh? I feel like just grooving to our own songs that we made.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, you know. For our school, it's finally done after how many days of preparation? It took a nerve, I was so scared to sleep.
Tell me how to get through this, 'cause I just wanna be free.
Performing for your culture is a big deal. For me, because I wasn't born in Samoa, but seeing now it's representing my culture as well as my school, I'm proud of it. I'm just proud of it.
You know, that's all that matters.
I think an event like this in particular is so important, especially in this day and age where people of Indigenous culture are fighting for things that are right for them. It's super important for us to have an event like this that celebrates who they are and lets them be the hero of their own musicianship. I just think it's important for the kids to feel like they can be themselves.
Man, you know, just seeing all the smiles, you know, that's what we want coming out of this. We want everyone to be happy, you know.
That crowd interaction part, that wiped a big smile on my face when they actually did it back.
It made me feel happy that they actually did it back.
Yeah, that was,
if they did nothing, I would have been
All of us, we strive together.
Definitely.
Like we're not pushing individually, we're all pushing up together.
Yeah.
So if someone else makes a mistake, everyone's accountable for it.
For us, the importance of the Polynesian lyrics that we used was to showcase our cultures to our family and friends that came out to support us. And it's for our legacy, for what we can pass down to the younger generations that are upcoming, so that they know how to speak the language as well, and so they can carry it on. with us. Yeah.
That's right for the Oakland regional.
Type fast to go to sleep.
But church tomorrow.
And remember to
Keep it fresh.
keep it fresh.
Seki.
Boom.
So you're finally moving out? Congrats! Now, let's talk about how to actually apply for a rental property in this beautiful country that we call Aotearoa. Step 1, start by searching rental listings. You can use websites like TradeMe, realestate.co.nz, and even local Facebook groups. Make sure to use those filters as well. You can filter by things like location, price, and then you can see whether you want to move into a flat or a house. Cast a wide net and look at neighboring areas too. Make sure it's something you can actually afford. If you're broke and you're only making like $300 a week, don't go for something that's paying the same amount that you're earning, okay? Silly. Don't just be scrolling through pictures. Make sure to look at things like the rent, the length of the lease, and whether or not the bills are included. Know if it's furnished, unfurnished, or semi-furnished. Trust me, these little things matter. Once you've found a place that you like, book a viewing or email the landlord if it's a private listing. Bonus, if it's a private listing, you'll be dealing directly with the homeowner. Step 3, you need to gather some important documents, whether that be your ID, proof of income, usually a payslip or a bank statement work, and references from any past landlords if you've rented before. And if you haven't, make sure to get a character reference from somebody that's trustworthy. You don't want to be getting it from someone that you met last week. Now it's time to fill out the rental application form. Make sure that all the info you put is accurate and double check for any spelling mistakes. And trust me, it's the small things that can make a difference. Once you submitted your application, just wait. I know it feels like forever. But trust me, landlords will get back to you in the next few days. If not, maybe a little bit longer. And then you'll get that email or call saying that you've got it. It's time to sign that lease and start the next chapter.
Stay locked. We've got more freshers coming up for you right after the break. The biggest challenge for me has been actually being an artist. Well, making music is what I love to do. You know, I'm firstly a musician, but then to be an artist, there's all these other things that you have to do on top of that, right? Bulavanaka, I'm Adam Snow, Fiji, New Zealand singer-songwriter, and I'm young, gifted, and brown.
You show up at my door, first day.
But I grew up in Fiji. My mum's family owned like a sugarcane farm in a little town called Nasori. We'd go there like all the time, eating like the sugarcane straight from like the stalks and stuff. Yes, the spark for music really came, it did come from my mum and that side of the family. I really wanted to learn something, an instrument, whatever. Yeah, my mum finally was like, all right, we'll get you into some music lessons, and I really wanted to do the drums. I really wanted to just, you know, smack, bang, crash. Obviously, my mum was having none of that, so she put me in for guitar. You know, you learn songs on the guitar and they like encourage you to like sing as well. And I think that's really what kind of kicked my music bug. And there's a lot of music in Pacific Island culture. In Fijian culture specifically, it's mainly through singing with your family, singing at churches and stuff like that. So again, you know, going back to when I would go to the sugarcane farm and see the uncles and stuff, yeah, they're always constantly singing. And it was always in like 3-part, 4-part harmony. I don't know how they would just like do that spontaneously, like all the time. Like everybody would just find their part and just sing it. And as a kid, that blew my mind. But now as an adult and knowing what I know about music and having sung in choirs and stuff, it truly blows my mind. But when you're writing music, you fail like a lot and a lot and a lot. But then every now and then you strike something where you're like, ooh, this is something. And so when I get that, aha, this is something moment, I quickly, you know, fire up the laptop, and start, layering things into logic. The way I normally write songs usually starts with a guitar. There was an instrument I grew up on, and I'll just, play a couple chords, hum some melodies. You just kind of hope for the best, I suppose. You hope that the ether bestows something on you. I think the way that I have learned to draw inspiration has really changed over time. I think consuming art is actually what inspires you to create art, because art informs art. And yeah, you do hope to draw inspiration from just out of nowhere, but the out of nowhere comes from what you're already doing, right? The life that you're living. When you're cooped up in the studio, sometimes the recipe for success is just go outside. I just chuck my headphones on. And sometimes when you get back inside and you come back to the idea that you've left behind, suddenly, you have new inspiration, something else to draw from. The biggest challenge for me has been actually being an artist. Well, making music is what I love to do. I'm firstly a musician, but then to be an artist, there's all these other things that you have to do on top of that, right? It's about the way you talk, the way you dress, the personality that you exude to others. I have always questioned what my identity is as an artist, right? Because I can tell you what I do if it's making music, but if you ask me about, what am I as an artist, the answer to that question is ever changing. It's always evolving, always growing. But sometimes it's not always. Sometimes you don't know the answer to those questions. And I think you have to be okay with that as well, The next single I got coming out is called What Do You Want? It's a song about navigating a relationship, calling things into question, never getting a straight answer. I think something I would say to other aspiring Pacific Islanders here in New Zealand is that whilst we don't necessarily have the same opportunities as some of our peers might have, I think something we do have is a strong sense of culture, a strong sense of belonging, an innate ability to be artistic and tell stories. We are storytellers. Those things can really be a driving force in the arts.
Whakalofalaia to everyone. We're here at Tōwahi Op Shop in Onehunga for fresh looks in 2 minutes. So let's have a look at what's on the rack and see what I can find. Let's go. I like this one over here. So I think what I'm trying to look for today are just some new pairs of bottoms, as well as some winter clothes. So with bottoms, I have maybe only 3 or 4 pairs, but I'm wanting some statement bottoms because I don't have too many. So something like this, statement pieces, pieces that kind of stand out, have unique elements to it, and you can't go wrong with a good pair of jeans. Something to probably also look out for when you're thrifting are quality items. So corduroy is really good quality, good material. I also like the detailing on the short of the logo. That's something to probably look out for, just items that will last a while. It's also getting a little bit colder, so I'm trying to hunt for some pieces for the cold weather, a jumper. I like to go for pieces that are quite unique, as you can see by the leopard jumper that I'm wearing. I try to put together outfits that have quirky elements to it because that's me, I'm quirky. Cool, so I think I'm pretty happy with these finds, but let's have a look at some accessories and see what we can find. Lights, camera, action, way too smooth, I do it with no practice. So I can't find any bags that has caught my eye, but that's all good because I'm pretty happy with the clothing that I have found, and that's just the thing with thrifting. Sometimes you might find what you're looking for, sometimes you might not, but what I say is if you at least walk out with one thing that you like, that's all that matters. Thrifting is about the hunt and the chase and that one item that your closet is craving. So if you're not thrifting, you're seriously missing out.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more fresh things.
Today on the show, we are joined by our good friend Marcus, top flight investor on TikTok. So where should we start when it comes to being better with money?
You probably want to look at your fixed expenses first, which is the most important. Those are things that you need to live. Your rent, your petrol, your phone bill. So once you've addressed your fixed expenses, you want to look at what's left over.
Welcome to the Fresh Whaikakala Talk Show, where if you've got something to say, you better say it with your chest. To some, this may be like a toxic relationship, and that relationship is with money. Hopefully today, more money, more problems will be no more. Today on the show, we are joined by our good friend Marcus, top flight investor on TikTok. Marcus, welcome to the show, bro.
Pleasure to be here.
Give us a little rundown on who you are and also what you're about.
Originally from Wellington. Hollywood. I've always had an interest in money. I studied money, accounting at Victoria University, and then I went and worked in banking and insurance. Yeah, I've always had a passion about it. It's always been a bit of a taboo subject around friends and family, but I enjoy sharing the knowledge, helping everyone be better with it.
And that's my qualification.
What does it mean to be better with money, and why is it so important for us?
Being better with money is about being wise with your money, making sure that the actions that you're taking with your money align with your goals. Your goals might be getting married, buying your first car, buying your first home, going on holiday. Whatever that is, you want to make sure that you're living within your means.
How can understanding money help us take a little bit more control of our lives?
Yeah, if we can understand money, it's going to give us a sense of control, a bit more power and more options.
Just please guard this with your life, okay?
A lot of people think being good with money is about being rich and buying fancy things. But it's not all about that for us.
Not all of us anyway. Cross that off my list.
There's bigger things like looking after our family, our kids, our parents, our communities, having options that can help provide for them.
I got Nana. She's living in the islands at the moment. She's always calling me up to send her money and all that stuff. I don't know how to kind of deal with that either.
And sometimes you really want to help and you do the best you can, but you just have to be really careful that that's not at the detriment to yourself. If you're not financially strong, those around you and your family are probably not going to be financially strong. So you look after yourself first and then you can provide for others.
So where should we start when it comes to being better with money?
You probably want to look at your fixed expenses first, which is the most important. Those are things that you need to live. Your rent, your petrol, your phone bill. So once you've addressed your fixed expenses, you want to look at what's left over. So if you've got subscriptions that you don't need, Netflix, Disney, you probably want to cut those back so you can have a little bit left over.
All right, kids, you're missing out on Disney Plus. All right, that's enough. We're wrapping it up. My cousin, he's on TikTok and he's trying to get me out of my 9 to 5. Is he a good person to go for advice or probably not?
Yeah, there can be some controversial ideas out there about how to get out of your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You don't want to fall for the get-rich-quick schemes because I don't believe there's anything as a get-rich-quick.
Oh, good, sis, you stole the money.
It's a get-rich-surely over long term.
Especially in our Pacifica communities, talking about money is a bit of a taboo thing we don't really like to talk about very often. We've got like Pacifica artists or like even like rugby league players. When it comes to sorting out like costs and prices and all that stuff, how do we kind of break that cycle in terms of being a bit more open to speaking about this conversation about money?
It becomes more natural over time. I understand what it's like when you first talk about money. It's a bit taboo. You don't want to say how much you make. You don't want to ask other people how they're doing financially. Yeah. People are hiding their debt. But if we're talking about it, we can get it out in the open and we can share that information and we can get more knowledge and we can help each other. It's just that society's told us that we shouldn't talk about it and it's a little bit awkward. So maybe if you've got a friend, you can just say, hey, let's have a coffee and talk about money. I want to get ahead. I want to talk about setting a budget. I want to maybe get into investing. and we can just all get a hit together.
Oh, now we're cooking. Marcus, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. Hey, we hope you guys have learned a little bit more so that instead of making it rain, you can make it storm. Auntie, I'm talking about you. Always coming to my house asking for $20? Cut that out, all right? Hey, I said it off my chest. We'll see you guys later.
Girl, come cruise, let me make you mine. Switch up and move to the other side. Just put your glass up, it's about that time. Right here to the other side. Ooh, let me see you shine. Switch up and move to the other side. You can bring your girls too, could you put that fine? Right here to the other side.
Vinaka Vaka Levi for chilling with me this week. Have a safe weekend, and remember, keep it fresh.
Talo Fakoto. My name's Indigo, your favorite Pacifica scientist, and today you're hanging out with me. Here's what's coming up on today's show.
Girl, make up your mind. Floating in my mind. You got me running circles. Yeah. Girl, come cruise, let me make you mine. Switch up and move to the other side. Just put your glass up, it's about that time.